Man, can you believe we're 10 weeks into the season already? 10 weeks into the NFL season. I feel like it just started. But that's how it is with football. It goes by that fast because we don't get a lot of it. Anyway, it's a few things to get you caught up on. It's JGoodWithSports. Let's get right into it. Week 10 NFL recaps. We're going to go all the way back to Thursday here. The Falcons, who I picked to win this game, didn't really show up at all. They lost to the Carolina Panthers, who are 3-7, who are 2 games back in the division now. I mean, this division is still wide open. The Falcons didn't do themselves any favors losing this game. 25-15. There's a picture or a moment to where Marcus Mariota's on the ground and the ball going straight up in the air. It's almost equivalent to like a butt fumble or something. I don't know. It just looked bad. From the optics, did not look good at all. This game was horrid. The only really bright spot was Deontay Foreman, running back for the Panthers, 31 carries for 130 yards and a touchdown. Other than that, I get that, they want to put almost every team on a national televised game at some point during the season. But man, that matchup right there is just horrid. Ooh-wee. All right, so, and then Sunday morning, we had a game in Germany. The Buccaneers, they sent Tom Brady to Germany, I guess, to build up that fan base. It was against the Seahawks. I actually picked the Seahawks to win this game, but I should have known better to bet against Tom Brady in another country, because I guess there's no way that Tom Brady's going to, let down in another country. But nevertheless, it was an entertaining game, especially in the second half. 21-16, Bucs are 5-5, Seahawks are 6-4. Geno did not look good at all initially. He got it together. It was too little, too late on that one. My Bears. Apparently, I'm 0-3 right now because I picked my Bears to win, and they actually should have won this game, but that's neither here nor there. The Bears lost to the Lions. That's not something I usually have to say too often, but that's what happened. Lions are 3-6, Bears are 3-7. As expected, Lions was able to move the ball against the Bears. But also, the silver lining here, our offense is scoring points again. Scored 30 again in this game here. Justin Fields has 147 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. He also has 167 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, including a 67-yard touchdown to put him up 30-24 after just throwing a pick 6 for the Lions to tie the game. I'm not used to this, as in I'm not used to us having a legitimate quarterback. We have one. I find myself making sure I'm not dreaming. It's that serious. Chicago's never had a real quarterback. We had Jay Cutler. We had Rex Grossman. We had Shane Matthews, K. McNown, Eric Kramer, Cordell Stewart at one point in time, Chris Chandler at one point. I can go on and on. Chase Daniels, my gosh. Got Justin Fields. I'm ecstatic. So yeah, we'll keep it moving. Obviously, the game of the day, the Vikings and the Bills. If you didn't see this game, I feel bad for you. If you didn't see any highlights, I feel bad for you. This game right here, I tell you what, if this was the actual Super Bowl this year, I would not be upset. I would not. Vikings ended up winning 33-30 in overtime. Look, Justin Jefferson put the league on notice by not only the stat line he put up, which was remarkable. Dude, Justin Jefferson had 10 catches for 193 yards and a touchdown. He also had 5 catches that was for first downs, including arguably one of the best catches you ever seen in your life on 4th and 18 to where it was around the sideline. One-handed snag, which looked like it was getting picked off. But he wheeled that ball out of the defender's hands. One-handed snag, landed on the ground, which kept the drive moving. Did they end up scoring on that? I think they ended up scoring on that. I'm trying to remember. Either way, the craziness of this game, it was like watching a movie. It was blockbuster. Because at one point in time, the Bills stopped them on 4th down. We talking about like a minute left. I'm like, this should be game. I actually went to the bathroom. I come out the bathroom. The Vikings are up 3. They scored a touchdown because they fumbled the exchange for a quarterback kneel down at the 1-yard line. So then Josh Allen had to march them down the field. They ended up kicking the game time field goal to go into overtime. I think the Bills got the ball first, then score. Vikings get the ball. They eventually stopped and kicked the field goal. And then Josh Allen had a chance to, they was getting towards the red zone. And this man threw a pick in the red zone. I feel like lately, this man is addicted to throwing picks in the red zone. I'm pretty sure that's like his 4th interception in the last 2 games, which 2 or 3 of them has been in the red zone now. That has been the Achilles heel for this team. I still believe the Bills are a legitimate threat and a legitimate Super Bowl contender. And I understand that Josh Allen's battling a UCL injury in his elbow, which it looked like he almost like re-aggravated trying to tackle somebody off of a pick that he threw. But nevertheless, like until Josh Allen gets that situation taken care of, not the elbow per se, but the red zone picks, that's going to always haunt them. And I still believe in this team. But their division has gotten a lot tougher, and we're going to get into it with these other matchups just to let you know. So, yeah, the Bills fall to 6-3. Vikings are 8-1. Still not a firm believer that 8-1 Vikings, but we'll see. Broncos, Titans. You know, initially, the Broncos didn't look half bad. Jerry Jeudy got hurt in this game. It's an ankle injury at this point. They thought it was a lot worse. But Titans still took care of business, 17-10. Derrick Henry only had 53 yards rushing. Tannehill didn't look too bad, 255 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Tennessee goes to 6-3. Broncos country, let's ride to 3-6. Gotta love it. Chiefs end up winning against the Jags as expected. Chiefs are 7-2, 27-17. Jags are 3-7. Man, Juju took a bad hit. He's in concussion protocol. He might be out a couple of weeks. That was kind of scary. It almost had you thinking about how Tua got hit one of those times a few weeks ago. Patrick Mahomes continues to impress. 331 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. In my opinion, he is your league MVP right now. The things that he continues to do, the way that he's progressed as a quarterback, the way they don't even have Tyreek Hill anymore, but making everybody else better around him. I mean, it is sensational. With those 4 touchdowns, 4 different players did catch a touchdown. Kelsey, MVS, Valdez-Scantling, Kadarius Toney, and I think Noah Gray. They all caught touchdowns. So Patrick Mahomes is definitely doing his thing. The Dolphins waxed the Cleveland Browns 39-17. The Dolphins are now the first place team in the AFC East at 7-3. Tua is probably going to start getting MVP considerations. If he didn't miss those 3 games, he'll probably be right up there with Patrick Mahomes. Tua is 7-0 as a starter this year. statistically, he's definitely doing his thing. 285 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Jeff Wilson Jr., who they got at the trade deadline, 119 yards rushing and a touchdown off 17 carries. Raheem Mostert, 65 yards rushing off 8 carries and a touchdown. It's just like just watching to it, like his accuracy is starting to like really look like this is the prospect they wanted. If you watch Tua at Alabama, it's like you have that feeling again, like Tua was a dominant quarterback at Alabama. And this was during a time that Alabama wasn't known to have, dominant quarterbacks. They had dominant running backs, dominant wide receivers for sure. At one point, there was a wide receiver factory. Dominant offensive linemen, dominant defensive linemen, linebackers. It just never had a dominant quarterback, and that's what he was. And that's what he's showing here in the NFL. The Browns. Hey, man, the Browns be browning. I'm going to just leave it at that. But tomorrow, Deshaun Watson gets to practice with the team. The Deshaun Watson era is about to start. All right. Giants, Texans. Giants take care of business 24-16. Giants are 7-2. The Texans are 1-7-1. These two running backs, Dameon Pierce, rookie running back from the Texans, 94 yards off 17 carries. I mean, he has been like the one consistent bright spot for the Houston Texans. But man, Saquon Barkley's been on another level. 152 yards rushing and a touchdown. It seems like every game this man clocks over 100. Saquon is letting people know that he is the truth. He's always had the talent. He was just banged up. Now that he's actually healthy, he's reminding people that he is that guy. I believe you. I believe you, Saquon. Always been a fan. Steelers get a win against the New Orleans Saints, 20-10. Saints have been abysmal. That's a very disappointing team. Coach says he's mulling a quarterback change. Yeah, I mean, it might go back to Jameis Winston at this point. Andy Dalton, I call him the rusty rifle. I mean, he was definitely rusty. 174 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Alvin Kamara, and it's like this running game has been non-existent. He only had 26 yards rushing off 8 carries. It's just bad. I mean, Michael Thomas don't want to be there. I mean, they put him on IR for a toe. I think he only played, a couple of games this year? And that means he only played a couple of games in the last 2 seasons. He doesn't want to be there. Let that man loose. Najee Harris had 99 yards rushing. That's probably his best performance of the year. But yeah, TJ Watt came back, so that probably made the biggest difference for this Steelers defense. Colts. The Colts beat the Raiders. Jeff Saturday, who was just an ESPN analyst a few days ago, who has not coached in the college or NFL settings at all, goes into Las Vegas, goes into Defiant Stadium, and beats the Raiders 25-20. So one thing I noticed that he did right away, he started Matt Ryan. And Matt Ryan actually didn't look half bad. 222 yards passing, 1 touchdown, no picks. Matt Ryan also had 38 yards rushing and a touchdown, including a 39-yard scamper, which was remarkable at his age and knowing that he never had any wheels to begin with. So Jonathan Taylor, they actually ran the ball. He had 147 yards rushing and a touchdown. Like, they got back to what they need to do, run the football. You have Jonathan Taylor, one of the best young backs in the NFL. Like, what are you doing? Jeff Saturday knows. Colts are 4-5-1. The abysmal Raiders are 2-7. I don't get it. Got all this talent. Got Derek Carr throwing for 248 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Josh Jacobs, who's been excellent for that team, 78 yards and a touchdown rushing. Devontae Adams, 126 yards, receiving off 9 catches and a touchdown. I don't get it. I don't get it. But one thing I do get, Josh McDaniels is a trash head coach, and I'm going to leave it at that. The Packers somehow beats the Cowboys 31-28. Cowboys was up 28-14 in the fourth quarter. And then, I guess, Aaron Rodgers happened. I think the Cowboys is also a bad loss for them and a good win for the Packers at the same time. Two things can be right about that. Nevertheless, Dak Prescott, 3 touchdown passes off 265 yards passing. 2 interceptions, though. Christian Watson, rookie wide receiver for the Packers. 4 catches for 107 yards and 3 touchdowns. He was the difference maker in this game. So was Aaron Jones rushing the ball. 24 carries for 138 yards and a rushing touchdown. So this is 2 straight opponents between the Packers and the Bears who have exposed the Cowboys by running the football. And I think actually the game before that against the Eagles, they did the same thing. You can run on the Dallas Cowboys. That's how you end up neutralizing Micah Parsons. Because if Micah Parsons start, attacking you in the passing game, it's like, well, it's not too much you can do about that. It's Micah Parsons. But if you run the ball, it takes them out the game. So teams are learning. So Dallas falls to 6-3. Packers 4-6. Rams Cardinals was a battle of the backup quarterbacks. Kyler Murray and Matthew Stafford did not play, but Colt McCoy, the more experienced backup, got it done. They ended up winning 27-17. Cardinals are 4-6. Rams are 3-6 and now at the bottom of the NFC West. And then in a surprise release yesterday, Eno Benjamin, who was their starting running back for a few times this year, because James Conner, he gets hurt on a regular, but they released him. I don't understand that one unless it was something internal, something that we don't know that he did. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. Sunday Night Football, we had the Niners, we had the Chargers. This was a pretty good game. Niners started off a little slow, but it kind of reminded us what kind of ceiling they have as a team. Because, man, the weapons that they have been displaying, ooh-wee. Garoppolo, 240 yards passing, no picks or no touchdowns. Elijah Mitchell is back, and they let people know that he's going to be involved in the running game. He had 18 carries for 89 yards. Christian McCaffrey had 14 carries for 38 yards and a touchdown. Brandon Ayuk had 6 catches for 84 yards. The only two that was, and then you still got to account for Deebo Samuel and George Kittle, who didn't really do too much, but the fact that they're on the field. Hoo-wee. Niners are 5-4, so are the Chargers. And then, somehow, some way, the Commanders with Taylor Heineke, Mr. Heineken himself, beats the undefeated Eagles 32-21 last night. Did not see that coming at all, but more power to them. And this just further closes the coffin on Carson Wentz. Because amazing how this team rallies behind Taylor Heineke, which I kind of expected because Taylor just brings a different energy. He's no elite quarterback. I mean, he's average at best, but the way that he plays, it kind of reminds me of like Shane Falco from the Replacements or something. It's just that backup energy. I don't know, but it works. They're 5-5, and the Eagles are now 8-1. Got the same record as the Vikings, but the only loss for the Vikings is against the Eagles, so the Eagles still hold the tiebreaker. So yeah, that's your Week 10 recap there. All right, so a couple things to note. Sadly, 3 Virginia football players were killed late Sunday. And I think 2 more students were injured by a former Virginia football player. I won't say the names or anything like that, but, prayers and condolences to the families. That's just tragic. It's like, things like that, shouldn't happen, but in the world that we live in, we just can't put anything past anything anymore. So yeah, definitely, prayers and condolences to their families, the university, as they, try to go through and handle this situation as well. So, oh man. On another note, Seattle Mariners, Julio Rodriguez was named AL Rookie of the Year. That man was sensational this year, to the fact that, he was probably one of the main reasons why Mariners was even playoff bound. That's instant impact as a rookie. I haven't seen anything like that to equate to wins. For me, I could be missing some people, but Albert Pujols come to mind. I remember Albert Pujols as a rookie with the Cardinals, and he just was instant impact, and Cardinals was a dominant team for the next decade. Got a World Series out of it. And it's to the point to where, he went from having a $1.75 million contract to them giving him an extension of $210+ million in August. So yeah, shout out to Julio Rodriguez. He definitely deserved it. And as far as the NL, Braves, Michael Harris II, won Rookie of the Year as well. Just sensational rookies across the board. So they definitely deserve that. Oh, man. So, nevertheless, we're going to, as far as Thursday, we'll get into some, Thursday night football as well. Matter of fact, just a sneak preview. Okay, so I'll take this game. The Titans travel to Lambeau Field to play the Packers. That should be a lot better game than what we saw last Thursday, by default. So I'll take that. I will. So yeah, continue to rock with your boy right here on the No Offense Radio and the No Offense Network. Follow your boy JGoodWithSports. We talking about Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. As we get closer and closer to Thanksgiving, we're gonna keep you up to speed. Of course, Thanksgiving comes with some football. Can't wait for that. We still in the midst of we still in the middle of 27 consecutive days of football between the NFL and college football. So I'm pretty sure there's a college football game on tonight. Let me see if I can even find that, if it allows me to. Not at the moment, but anyway. All right, so yeah, you all have a good one. Finish this week strong. Until next time, peace.